Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
People, thank you for joining me today. This is Influence, and today I got Kingdom War for Cybertron tracks. Got the box, nice artwork. I love that artwork. Love all the artwork on the boxes. I'm in artwork, so I like art. 21 steps. You can see all the phases there. Got all that good stuff, nothing there. Get a card. Of course, it's Megatron and Galvatron, I believe. Yep. So that's good if you like cards. And I don't know what that is. Why is that in the picture and stuff? So you got to excuse me. Not moving, but moving spaces. Not moving as in my house moving, but moving spaces around. So, and you got the book. Book's fine. Book's great. Here we have the Drax figure in the 360. It has a super duper backpack. He always has super duper backpack, but it's super big. All in all, it does look like Drax though. It is a little stumpy to me. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess it's just the proportions, but I mean, it's not as bad as the pictures. When I first saw the pictures, I thought it was. I think I'm going to stop judging the stuff on the pictures because when I get it in hand, it doesn't look terrible. This part of his legs, which are called thighs, they are kind of skinny compared to the rest of his legs. But I mean, that's what it was. So it's that. See his face sculpt. I think it's a pretty great face sculpt. They pretty much nailed it. It's on the money. Few paint imperfections, but other than that, then you get this as an accessory. Got that. Not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not too hollow. Has some good molding. This isn't the greatest. It's waffly, but kind of looks like his gun. Again, yeah. And he has all types of ports. He has ports over here. You can stick this in there. You can stick this on his forearm. So yeah, we stick this here like this. Has leg rockets, if that was ever a thing. If you want it to be a thing. So that's about it. We can let's get into a little bit of comparisons. Some out alignment, just so you can see how big he is. Now this is Studio Series Jazz. He's about the same size. They kind of look like they're from the same. This doesn't look like Studio Series. I mean, I said Jazz is probably one of the weaker Studio Series, but they look like they're from the same line. So there's that. Let me bring in Masterpiece tracks. There we go. And let's bring in little tracks. So then we have Mech Fans Toys Legend Size tracks, which I think is pretty nice. So there we have small, medium, and large. He needs a faction sign. You can get into articulation. Now his head, one thing, you can't really see it here. I should have a flashlight or something. But he has a big, giant stress mark on his neck. And I'm not turning this. I'm sure his head goes all the way around. It may go up and down, or it may be because of the stress mark. It even feels like it's about to snap off. So I don't want his head to snap off. Just for this review, I'm not going to do that. So his arms go like that. Due to transformation, you can get kind of a reverse butterfly. It is due to transformation. Arms go up that high. Double jointed elbow. Not double jointed. Single jointed elbow. Sorry about that. That gets you 90. Got bicep swivel. These wheels still move. Faction sign right there. Hands go in just due to transformation. Nothing else. No other movement. I don't think. No other movement. Waist swivel. Getting 360. He has no side. Well, he does have a little bit of side skirts, but he can get the full splits go down. He does have this one skirt, and usually it doesn't bother me that much. But the only reason it does now is because this unsightly business that they should have had a cover over top of this. Not sure why they did not have a cover over that. But in order to get, he goes out about that far and back about that far, so he can get some hurdles. He might clip the hurdle in the back, but that's what it is. We got the thigh split up here, and I like, even though the waffle was in there, I don't know what's going on with my light. Even though the waffle is in there, it has like a little piston or a shock or something in there. I like that. I like that they just didn't leave the hole. I wish they would have done something with this up here. So that's kind of unsightly. All this stuff is hollow, which is to be expected probably. I expected it anyway. He got single jointed knee. It's kind of double jointed, but not really due to transformation. So you can mainly get the 90 degrees. This wheel moves. You got his feet, can get the rocker and go up, down, way up. And also they move on this. It's not really supposed to, but you can get it if you need it. Transformation, which isn't that difficult, but there are some tricky spots. So first, I like to pull this out the way. It just pegs right there. Get this all the way up. I pull this out just so I don't forget. You probably won't forget, but let's pull this out and flip it around here like that. Now, when you're moving this like this, there's only a certain way that clears this head. And I'm sure that's probably why the stretch mark is there. I don't know if this is a stress mark. I don't know if this is, maybe somebody brought it back. It was used. I don't know. Or maybe just testing it. They done messed up the peg. But if you just move this real fast, you just clip the head. But you see it clears it well if you have it in the right position. So I just move these arms out. Then we're going to start fooling with these legs. So this right here moves out like that in order to get this unpegged. It's that peg right there, pegs up in there. So you get that unpegged like that, then you can twist this around. Now, unpeg that. Move this up here. I'll move this like this. So it'll show that you need to keep it at 90 degrees, because if not, you'll get lost. Then you just move this in like that in between there while it's still at 90. You can just maneuver this way, and this will come all the way up here. And maneuver that around, and then you can get it kind of flush. And this will be like that. You can see starting to form the front. Again, over here, lift this up, move this up to 90 degrees. Then you move this through here. And as you're moving that through there, then it gets enough clearance for this foot to move up this way. And with this like this, then you can move this leg all the way back. You can close these and close the two pegs clipped on right there. Then these just sit like that. Now this chest, you got to push all the way in. And this is like kind of like not the final, but where you want it. Hands, you can push in. You can do that first, but I just do it whenever. Doesn't really matter till the end. Then you want to flip this around. This can get tricky. It's not enough clearance on the side really, but if you have it exactly how you're supposed to, it does clear it pretty well. Now this goes here. There's like a clip under here that clips on right there and on both sides. And this is the tricky part because you have these two tabs that go underneath here, and then these two tabs together go into a hole right there. And it can get kind of tricky. I kind of do the sides first. You gotta have it straight too. So I'll try to and make sure this is right. This ain't right. There we go. Then you gotta try to get this front end. Oh, that's great. Usually it's worse on camera, but that was probably the best I've ever gotten it. Maybe I did something right. Then you just want to move this up a little bit, move this down. Get this door. This is the door on the side, so you know it goes out like that. Then you just push it down. Get in there like this. Move that up to clearance. Get it up. Move this down. Same thing over here. Move that up there. Push that up so it clears it. And there you go. 360 of the car. Just what it is. Looking right. Doesn't look exactly like tracks to me. It kind of squishy. I don't know. It's kind of out of proportion for the car that it's supposed to be, but I'll let it slide. I can say that some of the gaps right here, I mean, like this doesn't peg in too well. Even if you get it exact, you can try. Maybe, maybe they'll vary, but it doesn't look terrible. All four wheels move, of course. You saw that. Front, you got some detail in here. You got this, the symbol, faction symbol. You can also do one of these numbers. You can put this back here if you like. You can put it right here for some reason if you would want to. There's that look back here. Really probably where most people will put it. It kind of doesn't look bad like that, but then you can put this on top and make it even worse looking. So, I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. Now to get it into the flight mode, of course, it's quite simple. You want to move this out. Let me see. These come off sometimes. At least on mine, they did. They're just clipped on. Do that. Then you just got to pull this out. Get them out. And then move this out like that. You can move this up. So you have the yellow and red part showing. Move the wings out. Now they don't clip on anywhere. They just sit there, which is probably, I mean, not the greatest thing that you want, but it's just like an afterthought. Mask mode, I call it, because I think they got it from Mask. I know Mask was going to be part of Transformers or something like that. So I think that's what this was, probably a Mask vehicle, and they turned it into this. So yeah, you got the flying mode. Looks like he's flying. You can put this back here. Again, I kind of like when it was underneath. I think the original had the missiles underneath. I don't think you can do that, but this is what it is. So as usual, in my reviews, I will go back into robot mode just so you can see and see what I'm talking about. This came off, and this is the one that came off before, and it probably will keep coming off because you know how that goes. So now this is quite simple. Of course, you reverse everything. Sometimes easier said than done, but this is easier done than said. So, except for the legs. The legs can get tricky. This part is tricky right here because those tabs, man. Try it off camera. You know those tabs are there. It's just tricky. We'll just back up. And you see what I mean. If you got it all the way like that, it's clipping the head. So you gotta move it like this and then get it. Not too far, not too close. Move this back like this. Move this down. Clip right there, goes into there. But you can leave it like that for now because we're gonna work on these legs. So now with the legs, you wanna move these down and get them at like 90 degrees like that. I do both of them so I don't get disoriented. You can move this out. First, you gotta lift this up. So that's something I didn't do. Now pull these out like this, and then you can continue. Get this all the way down first. Then you move this, and that tab right there goes into there. Kind of. So then I'll show on here better. Once you get this down like this, or once you move this up, then you can move this down like this. And then you can start to move this out. You move that out, keep this at 90 degrees. So then you can get it moved down like that. And then you can get this right there. If not, you get all confused and discombobulated. You can turn this around to the front. And his legs are complete. Now what you want to do is pull this all the way out. And then accordion this. It's on like a double hinge joint. Up, and it kind of has to, it doesn't really clear it. You gotta like really push it up in there, and then it comes off the joint that it's never done before. Of course it does while you're on camera. It's just a testament. So you get that like that. Move this back down. Get that peg right there. You might have to move this a certain way. Pegs in. Move this. You know you got the arms right because it'll be anatomically correct, of course. Or you can bend the elbow. And now you are back. Get the feet right first. This does sometimes. So this has been Kingdom War for Cybertron Tracks. And I appreciate you watching this. Please give me a like. And I will get over with you in another video.
Ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.